let's press live. Not bad. Right. Just gonna get a roll of tape. Now, let's tape this up. Now, whenever you're taping up a rail, I always give the same advice. If you have one of those rail gauges, you know, the ones with the little thing that draws a line or puts a groove in your rail, go over towards your bin and do what you do with kale and throw it straight in the fucking bin, because it's just one of the worst things you can ever use for board making, because what that'll mean is you'll never ever get your eye in. There you go. So that there's pretty good. You'll never get your eye in, so throw it in the bin. Worst thing in the world. It's like a crutch. But unfortunately, it's a crutch which will stop you from improving. Now, tape up the back part. I love this part of the board. These stringlesses, even though it has a foam coloured stringer down the centre, it's still, because it's all foam, it's still deemed a stringless, okay? Because a lot of times they did put foam down the centre. So it's just I always check it from back here, have a look at it. Yep, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so I always remember I worked in a few different factories over the years, and I worked in one where the boss was a few years older than me, but he was a good board maker and he could do everything, but he was hopeless at taping up for some reason. I don't know why. He could do everything else, but he just couldn't tape up. And I think, you know, he used to get me to tape up his volans for him and stuff like that, and I used to do pin lines or spray, but if there was any tape ups to do, I'd get to do it. And I always wondered why he never just learnt it, just pushed himself a bit more to learn it. I never understood that, because I always say to people when they're learning to make boards, don't worry about your strengths. Your strengths are going to get better, and you don't have to worry about it. But your weaknesses are what's going to be your downfall. Work on your weaknesses. You know, work on what you're having trouble doing. Get better at that. And I still to this day believe that. Work on what you're not great at and make it better. Beautiful. I love this. Absolutely love it. Whoops, that's no good. That There you go, just tore off a bit of tape then. I'm going to have to fix that up. Put a bit of tape over that. There we go. That won't hurt it. The blade just wasn't sitting on it. So we'll start it and finish it. There we go. Now, I do my second run of tape. And the reason I use the 2 1-inch, it wraps around a curve better. You don't get as many wrinkles. You still get a couple here around the nose. But that's all right. Let's go around here. And now I attach my 2-inch tape to this, which I fold up. There we go. That there. Here's my blade. Now I keep these bits of tape here that I've end bits, because that's what I put under my 2-inch that I fold upwards. Now go around here, make sure my 1-inch is down nice. You got to rub it a bit to heat up the glue. You get a better stick. You don't want it too hot. Now I get my 2-inch tape, and I only sit that on the other green about 15 mil or ½ inch. Work around here. Now there's many different ways you can do that. This, I'm not saying this is the only way, or you know, the right way, do it my way or hit the highway, that type of thing. If you work out a better way of doing something, do it that way. Because there's always new inventions all the time. I mean, this profile wouldn't exist now if I didn't believe it was better than a solid piece of timber. You know, that's as well. We just went to Bunnings, so we had I got to put a stink pipe in the toilet we installed, and just a flexible one. It's only a temporary, but it's at the end of the line, so I've got to put a vent pipe in. And as soon as I laminate this, I'll go out and do that, and then come back and trim the lap. And I'll foil the fin up the Savo, ready for tomorrow. Now this will be getting laminated in the morning. Then I stick the fin on. Then I filler it, fin and filler it. And then tomorrow I just sand it. Sorry, day after I just sand it, and then whack the finish coat on. It's done. Ready for surf freight to pick up, to take up to Mick. Now Mick's got one of these already, as I said, but this one's more refined. It's got less volume in the rail. It's the more of a pinched rail. So I think this will be the one that's going to be a lot more sensitive, but certainly he'll be sitting in the water a little bit more. That's probably the best way to describe it. It's still got plenty of flotation in it. Like, it's got the thicknesses there, but this rail's going to bury nice and easy. It's probably going to find it's a little bit more responsive and a few other things, but don't get me wrong, the one of the fuller, you know, not too extreme model, that still is a great board, and I'm certainly not saying it's not. It's just that this one's close to the real deal. Right down to the glass job, 2 layers of volume, top and bottom. Now I'll just bring this out here, and yes, my camera on the head is a very funny look, but it's great for the people watching that are learning up with that. Now, I'm going to set my stand up. work out the width I need. And this one's a bit different than the one as well. This has got a bit more area in the tip of the tail. The other one comes in a bit. This is more like the traditional ones, and the nose has got a bit more of a blunter, rounder end. So it's got a few things in it that, so I'm just getting my flex right, because I want it sitting on the stand good. There we go. Now, as I said, this one's going to have 2 layers. Pick up my rubbish that fell down. I want my rubbish, my bags. Get back up there. Righto, so let's get this glass. Make sure there's no dirt or dust. And as I said, this one's got the double layers, 2 layers of bowline top and bottom. That's what gives it the strength. I read about on Midget's website, he talked a bit about the stringless period, and it was to get the weight down. That was his big thing at the time. He said it was to get the weight down, because mind you, we had some big ass heavy, well, they had some big ass heavy cedar stringers at that period. So right, so I carefully cut this. Now this I go just past the apex of the rail. So this is going to be wrapped around the rail a little bit. So I'll have 4 layers on the rail. This is why, you know, it's nice and strong. This wraps around a little bit. Well, it's probably like a modern shortboard rail. And then the other one wraps right round to the tape. Top and bottom, that means it's got a parabolic rail, definitely, with the extra cloth. See there, it's hanging down, it wraps around, there's the apex, it's going around about another 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch past the apex. So the apex will have 4 layers of cloth around it. So it should be very strong. Okay, now I'm going to keep this bit of bowline in. I'll just keep it aside for a moment, just there. Now this is the second layer that goes on now. Go. Now the second layer. Just checking the length of the lap. I don't want it too short. There we go. I want it to overhang about 1/2 an inch or so, enough. I always check it. I don't have to, but I just find it's easy to check it. Just go by eye. Yep, ½ inch. Don't have to check this, I know it's going to be long enough. There we go. Kick that little bit. Right. Trim this. Of this back up. People wonder why I have plastic over my roll. If you get any water or anything on it, form on it, it'll destroy a whole roll. So it's easy just to put a bit of plastic on it. Remember once in a factory I seen a guy drop a thing of dirty acetone and the whole thing splashed down onto the glass and wrecked a couple of rolls of glass. And yeah, very easy to do. Now, righto, let's get this glassed. Now I'm back on my 4-litre containers. We had a bit of a problem getting them, but MGH has got them. These are non-food grade, so there we go. Right, I'll just grab a stick. Now, this will be easy. My gloves. Now this isn't a hard glass job. I quite like the 2 layers of Volan. They glass quite easy. Oh, it's 20 degrees. 2 litres. I'll go 20 mil. It's pretty quick, no stickers. I float the stickers on after I glass it. Always stir your hardener in really well. There we go. Oh, that's better. These containers are way better. Now, this part, as I say, I always let the resin do the work. Spread it out. There we go. Resin sits on top of the glass, and because it's wet, it'll just wet it out on its own. There we go. Spread that round a little bit. I'm not working it in. I'm just putting it on there. Now, pour the resin here. Then get your bucket, straight at the bottom, straight at the sides, sit it there. Now, I'm just pulling half this resin over the lap. I don't want to pull it all over, so I don't want to waste it. Okay, the resin is wetting this out on its own. I'm not doing any of the work here. Half that resin pulled over. See that? Does it on its own. Now this is 7.5 ounce. It's not like 4 ounce. 4 ounces so easy to wet out. It's not funny. But this is 7.5 or 8 ounce. Some people call it. So it takes a little bit more to wet it out, but not that much more. As you can see, I haven't done any of the squeegeeing on the bottom at all. All I've done is spread it around a little bit like this. There we go, make sure it's wet. Now the excess I've got here, I just move it around the board a little bit. I'm not squeegeeing it in. I just want a nice cover. There we go, nice little cover. Just to make sure the whole area is wet. I just go around the rail once. I just do that with my hand. Right, and just makes it so much easier if you just get this rail sort of wet like this, and you use your hand to rub it in, just to make sure there's no dry spots on the rail. Okay, so like that, just gets air out easy. There. Then the next stage, get your roller, roll the bottom. Or roll the side, whichever one you're doing, top or bottom. Roll it side to side. Way quicker than a squeegee. I'm not saying don't use your squeegee, but what I mean is this part will be quicker than using the squeegee, okay? Because the resin's doing the work. Now, I just pull the resin out. And I always do the rail run first, because I want this to have no bubbles in it. So I do this bit on the rail first, like this. Then I go down the center. Notice how I haven't worked any resin into this. All I've done is pull the resin out. Okay, so, and I say this to all new glassers, you get paid the same amount of money. Why not get to do a bit less work and make the same money? Because look, making surfboards is a job, and at the end of the day, if you can make more money for less work, it's better than, you know, doing it the other way. Righto, then we just do the lap. See that? Straight under there. Then get your hand, pull it around with your hand, tuck that under. This is always the spot people have a lot of trouble with, this part of the lap there. Then go backwards. Sorry, let's get rid of that. Go. Same thing again. Do the rail first. And all I'm doing here is getting any air out of the tip of the rail. See that? Down the middle. Here. Go along here. Doing the waterfall, but it's not running off the rail, it's staying on the rail because the rail's wet. I'm going to take this glove off because it's leaching a bit of, it leaches colour after a while. There we go, put that under there, put that lap under, put this one under. Go. Whoops. Oh, that dropped down. Didn't like the idea of that. Now, go the other way. There we go. So now, I'll just put the lap. Now these are big laps, that's why they're wanting to drop down. See how it dropped down then? That's normal, that happens. Get this lap down. Bit of rain there. There we go. This little bit dropped down. It's easily fixed. Right, I'll just change my, get that bit of yuck off there. Change my glove because it's just had a bit of yuck come off it. There we go. Now, just go around this once. Make sure that's all good. Right, then I'll do a run around with my squeegee. This is just to make sure my lap's down perfect. Get to here. Good. Now check this nose bit. Pull that under. There we go. Little wrinkle. It's quite a tight nose, this one, and you will get a wrinkle occasionally, but it's not the end of the world. You can get around it. There we go, I just did. Play with that a little bit. There we go, got it. So you do get a little bit of a wrinkle on this tight, wide lap. It's quite difficult sometimes. That's enough, I got that. I'll just finish off the rest of it. And I'll come back and clean that bit up. This is looking good. Got my lap down nice. Get rid of that strand. How many you can hang up there? Sorry. There we go. Why aren't you going away? There we go. Cut that off when I'm done. Got my lap down nice and flat. Go around the back here. Make sure this is all beautiful. Yep, that is. Sometimes it's a bit of hard work, this. There we go. It's a gelled, not far off. Put a bit on the tip there. Bit on the tip there. Do this last bit here, then I'll get a clean squeegee and tidy up that bit on the nose. There we go, so that's down. Hasn't gelled yet, but it's not far off. Now just let me clean this up, and then I will touch up that last bit. There we go. Now, everything's fine there. Resin's close to gelling. I'll just check this nose to make sure it's all looking good. Yep, that's all looking nice. There was that little wrinkle. I had a tiny little wrinkle here. Not that it's much of one, but I'll try and get rid of this. So move that from side to side. There we go. Got rid of that. Get rid of this one. Now get a bit of resin. It's gelling. Put a bit of resin on there. So I want this nice and wet. There we go. Perfect. Got it. So that was that little wrinkle that was there. I fixed that up. A little bit on the tip. Tiny little bubble. Good, that's gone. This is all gelling now, so you've got a little window of getting it, down. You haven't got much time. Okay, now just check my rails to make sure all my rails are good. Yep, spot on. spot on. Then I'll check under here. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Spot on. And then I might just do one quick go around to make sure my lap's all spot on. There we go, just making sure there's no lumps. There's not, it's gelling now. Only takes a second, extra minute to go around. Yep, that looks good. Nice and what I call dry. Means there's no excess resin on it. Just hang that up there so it stays out the road. There we go. You stay there, mate. Perfect. Done. That looks pretty darn good. Right, so that's gelled. So there's no more coming back for that one. Now I'll check the rocker. If I have to adjust the stand a little bit, so adjust the rocker. That's fine. Clean my roller. Yep, perfect. Make sure my squeegees are clean. Yep, I'll come back for those. Right. Now I'm just going to check the rocker on it, because when it sits on the stand, it's quite easy to straighten the rocker out, but I know this blank has the actual rocker that I want. Okay, so I'll just clean that up, sit that on there. Perfect. 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 Perfect, that's got the exact rocker I want, okay? Just make sure I don't put resin on my thing. There we go. Yeah, so that's got exactly what I want. So I don't have to adjust that in any way. There we go. And the last thing I'll do, clean, drips off my knee. This is what happens, you normally get a drip of resin on your leg. Always happens. There you go, right there. See? Clean that off. Other drip there. All good. Done. Now one last, because that has gelled. Okay, I'll just clean my squeegees, and then I can let that sit for an hour. And then I'll come back and flip it over and trim the lap, ready for tomorrow. Now my next job, putting a stink pipe in our extra sewage we got put in, and there we go, that's that. So that's done. This looks fantastic. I think Mick's going to be pumped. There we go. See the line, just looks good. Big V. Very nice. Very happy with that. No, see the first layer comes to there, and the second layer all the way around. And see how you can see the weave of the cloth. It means it's nice and what we call dry, not too wet. That rail looks fucking awesome. Oh. Anyway. Let's have a walk around with this. I'll show you. There we go. There's that big V, really pinched rail. Roll through the front, not too extreme. There you go, at the back there, you can really see it. But nice, I really like how that looks. Not bad. Okay, that'll do. I shall be back.